Hi, it's Nikki here from Energy and Emotion and Connecting Conversations. Today I'll be connecting with Ophelia, who is a hypnotherapist all the way from Indonesia. And today she's going to be sharing mindset tools and daily practices we can do to really help us have a more positive lifestyle, including, getting rid of these negative thoughts that we come up with us. And I think, this is going to be so useful for today and where we are right now, what's going on in the world. I basically started these conversations because there's so many inspiring people that we come across in this world, and everybody has their story to tell that can really help somebody else. And it's really, for me, if it's connecting with these inspiring people and hoping that somewhere it's going to connect with you and to inspire you in your world. So it's me like acting as a go-between and really helping these people to get their messages out to a wider audience and just to be inspired, and to do that in a natural, chatty way. And I see it as opening a treasure box, really. So I'm going to let Ophelia in from Caring Nature, and I'm going to open the treasure box. So let's see what's in today. She's just coming in now. I love this bit.
Hi.
Hi, Ophelia.
Okay, let me see. I can finally see you now. How
So
are you?
you?
Let me adjust my camera a little bit to a different angle. I'm moving around to see if I could be centered in the camera. Okay, let me see this. Okay, wow, that's further away. Okay, sorry, I'm still adjusting. I'm in a tiny little computer desk right now, so it's gonna take a little time. We haven't started recording, right?
We have, but it doesn't matter. It's all part of the thing. It's all part of
Good. Because we need to do some testing on me. I'm sitting as well.
And I've just introduced you, and
probably...
You're fine at that. Yeah.
I'm fine this way. Okay.
I can see you're completely in the center.
Good. So let me see. Okay, this is
that's good.
My face is in the screen.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, complete in the middle. Right. It can be wonderful.
Good.
I was just saying, I'm great. I'm really good, and I'm just so happy to have you on. And I was just saying, it's for me, it's like opening a box of treasure, because we've never met. I only know from what I know from looking at your website, and it's just like, for me, it's just like, what's in this box of treasure today? It's wonderful.
Thank you very much for inviting me. This is an exciting opportunity to connect with someone I've never met in person before.
Exactly, yeah. It's why I love doing
it. Everything?
Yeah, it's for me, it's just about connecting people who I find inspiring and who we've never met, and for you to share your message, and for us to to connect over these thousands of kilometers, because you're in Indonesia.
I'm based in Indonesia, but unfortunately, because of the COVID setbacks, I traveled around. I made a few rounds to try to get my work visa renewed. It has not worked out yet. So right now I'm waiting in my hometown in Taipei, Taiwan.
Wow.
Hoping to be able to return soon. So I left Indonesia for a business trip in mid-March. And this is looking like by mid-June, or it could be going to July, that I finally will be able to return. So it's good. It's a long journey.
Wow. So how is it for you out there right now, with the situation?
So I served the 2 quarantines. Now I could tell everyone it's not 28 days straight back-to-back 2 quarantines, but I did arrive in Singapore hoping to get my work visa done. It didn't work out, so I served the first quarantine in Singapore. Then after knowing that I wasn't able to get my work visa down there, I decided, okay, I should go back to Taipei, Taiwan to wait. So it took a couple of days off to prepare for the second quarantine, grocery shopping, etc., arranging things with my family. Then I arrived in Taiwan. I started the next 14 days. I got out a few weeks ago. And yeah, it's serving 2 quarantines in 1 month was not an easy thing. That was quite a bit of learning as well.
Yeah, 'cause I mean that's sure. I mean over here, because I'm in France, and our quarantine it started the 16th of March. I remember it, and we've just come out now, but slowly, things are beginning to open up. So it's been, a good 2 months. And I think we're going to be in for another second wave. I think we'll be one later in the year, around about September, October. I think they'll just.
I saw them. Yeah. I saw on the news that people are going crazy and shopping.
Oh my God. This is it. And I think when you've been shut down for so long, when you're pushed down, people just spring back up. And people have been having parties with alcohol along the Seine in Paris. They've been queuing out shops thinking, the first thing I did on Monday when we were let free, I just went straight to the beach just to get, put my feet in the sea and just to breathe in the sea air. That was, enough for me. I'm back home. But
yeah, one thing I definitely realized that after serving 2 home quarantines was how much I should appreciate nature a lot more. That contact with the real nature instead of being in a tiny little room, but being able to go to the mountains, to the beach, to see the forest, to see the ocean, that was actually quite therapeutic for our lives. And the second important thing was how important it is that to have a good connection with ourselves and other people, whether it's with other people virtually, non-virtually, and also being in touch with ourselves, so that even though we're kind of a constraint in our house by ourselves, we can really hug or touch other people. We at least know that we get along with ourselves.
I've just got goosebumps going all the way up and down my arms right now with that. It is so funny you just said that, because this is during confinement that I've created these interviews, a way of connecting. And it's this, I think we've all managed to connect in new ways, and it's taught us so much about ourselves.
Yeah, one thing I found that's even more important than ever is to be able to love yourself. Because when you're stuck by yourself, alone, you have yourself. If you cannot even get along with yourself, how do you expect other people to get along with you? So you first have to build an excellent relationship with yourself before you can expect to have a great relationship with other people. So yeah, what I do when I teach other people is give yourself a hug to begin with. At the beginning of the day, brush yourself, hug yourself, to feel the presence of that connection, knowing that you are always with yourself, no matter what.
That is wonderful. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you see me?
Yes, it keeps freezing time to time. But yes, that about, and so much of just what you've just said just now, there's physical contact. We can't connect with other people physically, but this physical connection with ourselves is so important in so many ways. It's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think one thing is pretty important is talk to yourself, right? As you're giving yourself a hug, tell yourself, look at that person in the mirror. I'm not giving you up. I'm always here with you. I love you. I care for you. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to give you the best thing I could ever give to you. I'm together with you. Let's stay together, because I'm not giving you up. Please don't give me up. And you could simply also perform this Ho'oponopono ritual with self, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I love you. This is a time to reconcile with yourself.
Totally. I've got tears in my eyes. Just absolutely, like that just touched me so much. It's so beautiful. And it is so important. And I think, you know, it's not by chance this confinement that we are, a lot of us are on our own. And this is what it's about. This, for me, this confinement really is, as you say, it's getting back to source, getting back to who we are. Because we cannot relate to the world if we can't relate to ourselves. It always come back to, and you're just like, woof.
And it comes back to the simplest, most original form of the world and ourselves, because all we have is the internet, but we don't have any other form to socialize with people. We don't have any other form to go out, to party, to shop as much as we want. So what we have is ourselves. And that's the most important element in life. And this is also the time, right? We get to tell ourselves, maybe I've not always done everything right. Maybe I've hurt you. I just want you to understand that I'm trying my best. I don't mean to bring you all that pain. I'm trying. Maybe I don't always understand what you need. Maybe I make mistakes, but please understand that I just want to help you. Maybe sometimes I'm overly protective because I'm scared. I don't want you to get hurt. Please let me know what you need. I'm there for you. Because no matter what we do, there's always an intention behind it. And oftentimes there's a positive intention that we need to identify. Ourselves is not gonna intentionally hurting ourselves. There's intention behind it. Maybe it was not always the right decision making at that time, but that positive meaning behind it, that meaningful love, that meaningful protection, that meaning for the unconditional support is actually always there. And it should be flourishing, becoming more prominent at this time.
Wow. I love it. It's amazing what you've just said. And it just, you know, just you saying this, I was just thinking about my routine and thinking in the morning, I'm so quick, like to get in and get out the shower, get on with life. I think, oh my goodness, I've just forgotten. I've forgotten myself in connecting with myself in that way. And that is, it's just so powerful what you just said. It's so simple. Yet I think it really, you know, helps to bring people back to themselves and forgiving ourselves for a lot of things, a lot of what we've done.
Yeah, you know, you don't even have to set out a very long routine to do that, right? Because as you're brushing your teeth, getting ready, setting up your hair, before you get out the door, you got that few minutes. You get that few minutes to look at yourself in the mirror. And that is the time you get to stare at that person in the mirror. Look at the eyes, look at that face, look at that expression. What is that person trying to tell you? What would you like to tell that person to start the day? Because
Like,
starting the day, starting that day with a positive intention, sending each other that positive intention sets a positive energy, and it gives you that positive affirmation, right? Instead of saying, I don't want something today, I want something for you. I'm bringing you this today. I can do this together with you today because I love you. I always have you with me. We're always together. We work as a team. You're not alone. You know, with all this beautiful self-love, it's like a building a bubble. It's like a protective bubble. And it's from yourself to yourself. So that's the strongest.
I'm just like, I don't speak, otherwise I'll cry.
It's okay to cry.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh my God, I cry so often. You know, I just had the vision of like our soul and our body, and you know, rather in one or another, but this is a team. This is a team, and it's really helping these to work completely together. And so many people can just live in a body but not live in a soul, or be so in the soul that they forget the body, which is what I often do. And it's bringing those two. Look! Oh my goodness! Just look at that.
Yeah, and the thing is, the mind and body, spirit and our soul are not separate entities.
No.
They are all together. They work together. So when your soul is hurting, obviously your emotions are hurting. That affects your mind and that hurts your body. everything is connected as one piece.
Yeah, wonderful. And as you said that you wanted to share with me, mindset tools and things people can do on a daily practice, and I think that is so important. I mean, obviously, this is one of them you've talked about, and I think it's so important for where we are now. We've got the time
Yeah.
to practice it into place.
we got exactly. So in this confinement, it's very easy because that's our natural human instincts to look for something negative, always look out for danger. But we've got enough on the news, so we don't need to look for danger. It's everywhere on the news. When you open it, you see all the facts. So we don't need that anymore. What's more important is to rediscover what are the good things in your life. And to start with that, there's some simple things we can do, right? We just talk about start of the day to hug yourself and give yourself some loving, kind words. And as you're doing that, staring at that person in the mirror, you could start setting up some positive affirmation of what you intend to do today. Instead of saying, I don't want to be stressed today, change your sentence for the same meaning, but change your sentence. I want to feel relaxed and peaceful today.
Yeah,
Or
definitely.
exactly. I don't want to have insomnia. How about change that to I want to sleep like a baby today?
This is it, because the brain doesn't hear the negatives, like the I don't want, so they just hear I have insomnia or I am unhappy. Your brain doesn't hear the negative and just goes on straight onto unhappy, insomnia, sad, depressed, and turn it into the positive.
Yeah, because the reptile brain, that's from our ancestors, hunter collector instinct. They're always looking for danger because they want to protect themselves, and during the caveman ages. So it's very easy for us to naturally pick up the negatives. And in order for us to be a more positive, happy person, it does take a little bit of practice to re-gear your brain going towards a positive direction. So you could start out with practicing on making a sentence with positive words instead of the negative do, don't. Flip the sentence.
Yeah, so important right now, because we are on the outside world. There is so much negativity for the news, from people wearing masks, etc., and it's really changing that around and coming back to yourself of where is me in this and how do I want to feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And another exercise you can do is to increase your level of awareness is whenever you catch yourself going back to the negative self-talk again, all this don't, I am not, I don't like, blah, blah, blah. Just practice on making a sentence with the opposite meaning.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether or not it's true, just practice. So one little thing you could do is to prepare a treat box for yourself. Okay, whenever you catch a negative self-talk going on, ding, okay, write it on the opposite sentence of it, such as, I'm so stressed, I hate my job, I hate the confinement, I hate work from home. Just what's the opposite of it? I feel relaxed, I enjoy working from home, I enjoy the new lifestyle, regardless of whether or not it's true. Just write it down. Okay, put that in your treasure box. When your treasure box is full of those little notes that you write, is the opposite meaning of this negative self-talk. Hi, empty the box, give yourself a treat, like an extra glass of wine, some chocolate and cheese, something, or an extra movie night on Netflix, a Zoom meeting with friends. Give yourself a treat. Then you start the next box.
That's beautiful. It's it's small things like that. And I think, when we see that box so full, I think it's so visual that we see, how much we are turning around to positive.
Yeah, and wouldn't that be nice? Because you, by the time you see your little treasure box full, you might be surprised at yourself,
Yes.
like, wow, I actually can create this much of positive self-talk.
Yeah, it reminds me of something I used to do as well, is to get a little jar. And at the end of every day, especially when it's great when you've got children as well, of getting some piece of paper, so what was the best bit of your day today? And just writing that on the paper and putting it in the jar. And when that jar is full, you empty it out and you remember all these good moments.
Yeah, and that's the journaling, right? That's also an amazing one. And there are the
Mm.
different ways to do the gratitude journal. Some people write down what I'm thankful for today for 5 things. I could tweak it a little bit, say, okay, here's a variation of self-love journal. At the end of the day, write down what the 5 good things you discover about
Yeah.
yourself today. Could
Yes.
be super simple, yeah. Could be, my hair looks good today. Okay, looks smoothly, shiny. My skin looks brighter today. I like how I look in my new dress. I like my nails. It's very simple, very trivial. It doesn't matter. Just the 5 good things you discover about yourself today.
Which comes back to
And
self-love,
another
yeah.
one, yeah, and another one to boost your self-value, knowing that you're a good person and you're actually doing good things for the world, is add another 5 things today that you've done. You're contributing to the world. For example, today I'm healthy. I didn't get sick today. So I'm contributing to controlling the world health. That's very important. I'm safe. I stay safe. Today I follow the social distancing rule. I didn't go out. I keep myself safe and I keep my surroundings safe. Hey, that's a pretty important contribution to the
Yes.
world right now.
Yeah. And even I was just thinking about smiling, that you smiled at somebody, and
Mm-hmm.
even if for those wearing masks, you see the smile in their eyes. We can
Oh
still
yeah,
smile
yeah, yeah.
completely. It's so important. Whatever happening behind the mask, we see it on the face.
Yeah, that's actually really important because
Yeah.
right now it's pretty much getting back to normal in Taiwan, but we still have to wear a mask when we go to social events, go to group classes. And what I noticed that even with like that, when I look at my classmates' expression, how we talk, how we exchange conversations, and they're happy, they're surprised, they're content, you become more aware of what they're thinking.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that just, and the eyes, like the window of the soul. And it's like we're
Yeah,
so
and you
concentrated
connect
now
with
on
them.
the
Yeah,
eyes. Everything is red here. That's so, yeah, that's
yeah,
powerful.
yeah. You'd be surprised at how much you could read from a person to connect with that person, even just through the eye contact.
It's even more important. I think it's, even as you said that, when you look at yourself in the mirror to do this moment of self-love, that you're looking at yourself in the eyes. And I think it's going to really bring people straight into eye contact more, of noticing people. That's a really good positive about the masks.
Yeah. Yeah, in addition to staying safe and healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so what do you do with your daily routine nowadays?
My daily routine, I love when I get up in the morning, of opening the doors, the windows, and just letting the day in with the sounds of nature. That moment is so important for me, where I can just sit down and gather my thoughts for the day, maybe do a small meditation, write out my feelings, how I want this day to be. And I really find it, these moments in the morning, I'm often up about 6 o'clock. There's something so special about this moment that's not like any other part of the day. It's this real, and when I start to hear like the dawn chorus, so I wake up, I open the windows, and I start to hear the birds singing. Just their start. It's like we're all starting this world together. So that is my moment, first moment of the morning, of just gathering my thoughts and connecting back to nature, going outside and just breathing in the air, like the fresh air of the morning, feeling the sun on my face, and just thinking, wow, thank you, world, for being here.
Wow, that's beautiful, because it just reminds me that one tip every time when I share with students that they always seem to get it and resonate with it quickly is when we teach people to breathe slowly in order to relax, and when it seems like they're not connecting the counts or how am I supposed to breathe, and they're a little bit nervous about whether or not they're doing it right, when I just have to tell them, think about the ocean waves.
Yes.
When you
Yeah.
breathe in, inhale, ocean wave comes up, ocean waves rising. When you exhale, the waves go down. Just think about the ocean waves as you're breathing. Inhale, waves coming up, exhale, waves going down. Just by doing that, after, I'll say about 5 to 10 seconds, after a couple more breaths, after a couple more breaths, people actually get it. And you can notice that they really slow down because they're thinking about the ocean.
Yes.
And then you continue to encourage them to think about, as you're breathing, following the rhythms of ocean waves, think about how relaxing it is. Maybe you're laying down on the beach, maybe you're in the hammock, you're just rocking naturally. Think about how good it is to enjoy the ocean breeze, the sky, listening to the sound of the waves by connecting the breathing to those natural elements.
Yes.
And if you want, you could keep on going, right? And now imagine you're hearing the calling of the seabirds and all this birds chirping and reminding you how good it is to enjoy the life.
Yeah. And it's that, breathing, it's so simple, yet it's so important. And it's, for me, as we're breathing in the prana, we're breathing in the energy and breathing out the old negative. And it's always the fact that you cannot be stressed while you're breathing slowly. Your brain does not, you can't, it's impossible.
Yeah, a lot of people are that when they say they have panic attack. Oh, I'm gonna stop breathing. I'm gonna stop breathing. Well, the fact that you're not dead means you're breathing. You cannot stop breathing
Yeah.
unless you're really in a crisis. But you're
Yeah.
actually breathing, even though when you're saying I cannot breathe, you are still breathing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so wonderful. And it's nature is for me, I always look at nature as the inspiration, whether it's, you say, like, with the waves on the sea, or for me it's also, of letting go, of being like a stick on the river, and just let the river just let me, take me wherever I need to go. That the more we struggle, the more we sink. That there's always a relation we can do with nature to help us through on a daily practice.
Yeah. There's an analogy sometimes I used to guide people as well as imagine you're feeling very stressed because you carry a lot of mental weights on you, right? This heaviness from this old emotional heaviness from all this long-term stored emotions that you're still carrying inside of you, mostly here in your heart, a lot of time on your shoulders. And imagine you're carrying a backpack full of rocks, and what you're doing is you take out all those mental rocks from your backpack one by one, put it on a boat, and when the backpack is empty, the boat is full of those rocks. Release the boat, cut the rope, let it flow down the river, and imagine that as that boat is flowing down the river, going further and further away from you, you're seeing less and less of that image of that boat going further and further away from you. That all that emotional burden, the heaviness, the heavy weights are also going away from you. And until all you can see, you can no longer see that boat in the horizon, it just disappears in the horizon. All you can see is the flow of a river. You could only hear the streams, the natural sounds of the water, enjoy the breeze from the tree leaves, the sunshine. And that's the moment when you know you're free.
Beautiful. And I was just imagining, taking each boulder, and as I took the boulder, is to write on it what what the word was. So you're writing on it,
Yes.
and then it's really, I love that.
Yeah, because you might be very aware. If I ask you, imagine that backpack full of the rocks, you might be able to point out. If I say, hey, what are those biggest rocks? What do they say on the label? And you might say, oh, relationship problems or work stress or anger. People could actually name it one by one.
Yes,
What are the
yeah.
biggest ones? The second biggest ones? Are there any other tiny ones remaining in the backpacks? Can we also dump it all out? Just dump it all on the boat. People can actually do it. You can imagine yourself doing it, because it's like playing a movie in your head.
It
We
is.
all know
It
how to
is.
play a movie.
And your brain believes it. I remember one time I listened to a meditation, a guided meditation, and this person would, I can't remember before, but at one point it says, okay, you're going to take, literally, you're going to open your head out and take your brain out and put your mind in front of you. And so you can't think because your mind is in front of you. And it was so, it seems so stupid, but at the same time, my goodness, it worked. I think, well, no, I can't think. You can't because it's there.
It's awesome. Wow. Until you can see your mind in front of you. I like this
So you really
phrase.
you can't do anything because it was right. It was. I have to refind it because it was so funny. It was perfect.
Wow, that's an interesting practice. Oh, that's another thing we always tell people. People come to us, I cannot meditate. I have all the thoughts going. My mind goes crazy. I'm too busy. All this racing monkey minds. I just cannot meditate. And we want to tell people, most people cannot meditate because we're human beings.
Yeah,
Every second we
yeah,
have at least five different things going on in the head. It's normal.
exactly. It's part of it.
Yeah, unless you have gone through some very deep meditation practices and you know how to control it and you know specific ways in your own routines. I think most of us go through this
Yes.
as we are breathing, we're still thinking about my grocery shopping. But I think it's okay. It's the whole point of it is to increase the awareness,
Yes.
from the
Yeah.
awareness to the breathing, to the heartbeat, to yourself, to what's going on in your mind. And there are also tools as you're becoming more aware. You might be aware of positive, negative, or neutral thoughts also coming up. Like they could be coming words, pictures, memory, video clips,
Mm,
or just colors, or nothing. And it's okay. As every time this random things comes up when you're trying to relax and breathing, you just counter it back with your positive affirmation.
yes.
What we talked
Yeah.
about before, like
Yeah.
I want to feel great every day. I'm doing better. I'm positive. I'm relaxed. I'm peaceful. Whatever that random things comes up, you just keep on adding the positive things back, so that no matter what that is, eventually everything becomes positive.
Totally. Totally. It's a game of tennis. You just keep hitting the positive balls back as they come to you with the negative. And this is it with meditation. I think people have almost been programmed the wrong idea. They've got to sit cross-legged on the floor in complete silence with no thoughts. No, you don't. Meditation can be done anywhere. And it's really about learning, to live with the thoughts that we have, but not let them control us. Just let them pass by, like, little clouds or a little train going by, but we're not going to get on the train. We're going to let the train go by. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, and to be aware, because we're not aware of what we're thinking. And sometimes, it's like taking a distance and listen to ourselves and to our thoughts and thinking, I think just completely, I'm just thinking junk.
And it's totally okay, right? I totally agree with you that there's some very rigid practices where they tell you how you're supposed to sit and where your eyes, your nose, and how you're supposed to observe yourself. And you have to totally empty your mind. That's when people feel, oh God, I'm stuck. I
Yes,
cannot
yeah,
meditate. But that's just one way to do it.
exactly.
There's so many other different ways.
Yeah,
And the point of doing all this is, again, going back to what you're saying, emotional control. Because
yeah,
when you get to control how you want to feel, instead of letting those negative feelings
yeah.
control you, you get your power back.
This is it. It's empowerment. It's changing the thing. still have the thoughts, but am I control the thoughts or thoughts controlling me? And that it's like everything, it's a habit. Are you still there? Yeah.
It is a habit, yeah. So yeah, so when I teach people, I start by giving them homework, because this is not the kind of, our brain are fixed, right? Our brain is built with habits, like what you're saying. Our neurological pathways inside the brain follow specific
Yes.
routes.
Yeah.
It's like your favorite hiking trails. You always take certain trails, and the trails become so big, you don't even think, you really don't think, you just get out, okay, turn right, turn left, because my trail's right there, so
Yes.
big.
Yeah.
Your brain is the same way. It follows specific patterns of thinking and feeling as a habit. So to change all this, to basically to reroute the neurological pathways, we got to practice. So it's like you imagine in your brain, you have a network of hiking trails.
Love
Now
that.
we got to create a new trails. So the analogy, especially with people who love nature, when I explain to them to think about the hiking trails, then they start thinking about the nature, right? Then I start talking about, imagine you're gonna create a new trail, a new hiking trail. First, it's all covered by bushes, and you have to cut it. You kind of have to push through.
I love
You
that.
have
And
to,
oh wow.
and you do it more and more. Gradually, you got a small trail. Then the more you take that new hiking trail, your old trails will be covered by vegetation. Then the more you do it, you will have your new trail, and that's the new trail of your new habit. That's gonna help you to feel better. So, especially with people who love nature, when I explain how that works with hiking trails, I get it. It's like, oh yeah, it's like hiking trails. And then they start thinking about the nature, the hikes. They have something to look forward to, thinking about their favorite forest. So it always works.
I love that. You know, that the whole thing, you say, like, it gets overgrown and it's, I just picture, like, you often see little animal trails. You can just about make out a little trail. But as you say,
Mm-hmm.
it's overgrown, and these are all like negative thoughts, but we're learning to control back, and we control it, we start to push it back. The boulders on the way, and that is such a beautiful way of doing it. Love it.
Yeah, and I love myself love hiking too. So I found that I connect very well with this particular
Yes.
analogy.
Yeah, I love that. And it's a nice way of people to getting into even the meditation of, listen, going down that meditation track, the trail, listen to the birds, the nature, the smells.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It needs to be in a condition that a person can relate to. So if you force a person who is really not into hiking, who doesn't really understand the idea of hiking trails, and then you gotta find something else that person can relate to. Maybe that person's favorite activity, such as diving, a boat trip.
Yes. Yeah. Fantastic. I love it. Oh, you've got
Yeah.
you've got
What's
so many
your
words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. Love it. It's so inspiring.
sometimes we do very very simple ones as well. Another thing people don't realize that is that when we keep staring at things very intensely, we focus on all this intensity around our eyes, and in the way to relax from the focus intensity here is to expand our vision, right? So
Yes. Yeah.
so the practice of expanding the peripheral vision is so useful. And I found that you could teach people to do it in anywhere. If you're staring at something with a focus intensity, just begin by paying attention to just the immediate surrounding, the top, right, left, bottom of that
Mm.
object. Expand it further to the walls, to the doors, to the house. Think about beyond that the house, think about the garden, think about the street. Now expand it further, think about your neighborhood, expand the neighborhood, now think about the whole city, now think about the country, now think about across the ocean, the other countries, the continent. Continue to expand. And you could take them all the way to to expand to the sky. As if you're already above the sky, you're expanding and you could see the clouds and you could see it looking down, you could see the entire earth. Because when you bring a perspective to that big macro and you guide people to think about looking down the globe, you're thinking about that white, blue, green colors of the beautiful motherland, and you could kind of see the people moving, the little dots of the human beings, and you could see the nature, you could see a big perspective of the universe from a space. Compare the giant timeless spaceless universe and looking down the earth and looking at yourself and the issues that are bothering you. You're looking at things from a different perspective now. It doesn't mean those things are not important because they bother you. It's just that when you're looking at them from far away in the macroscope compared to the time and space from elsewhere in the universe, you see the relativity over there.
Yeah, they are, you know, the part of the bigger picture. You know, I'm also saying to people as well, when you've got a tiny little pinprick, but when you take that bigger, you also see everything else that's going on around that. That it's not just this one isolated problem, that there's many other things that are actually just part of something so much bigger that we can't really see until we zoom out.
Yeah, and when you zoom out to that level, you probably will also notice that you are one part that's important to this world. You are contributing to the world. Everything you do, you think, you say, you feel, especially at this global crisis of the COVID, we're all together. Everything you do influences the world and vice versa. So you are an important person, very important to the world.
And that as well, I think, you know, going back to being in confinement, just taking that moment of coming away from like the computer screen out into the bigger world. I think we expand our thoughts so much bigger than where we are. And it comes back to, you know, that we can, whatever situation we're in, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's what's in our mind. And we can feel how we want to feel wherever we are.
And most importantly about this whole COVID confinement is you're not alone. The entire world is experiencing it. It's really not a single person's lifetime issue anymore. It's a whole, we're talking about 7-something billion people are experiencing different levels of difficulties.
And I find it's amazing, you know, I think that the whole world has come to a standstill at some point. It's just like, never in history have you had this where somebody has literally pressed the pause button and said, okay, stop. It's incredible.
It's I've never seen that in my life, that wow, the entire globe is, we're all changing our lifestyles, how we live, and this probably will become a permanent change after everything passes. We maybe I hope people will become more health conscious. They will start to remember, oh yeah, during that period of time I exercised more, I actually feel better. Or oh yeah, during that time I try to connect with people, I realize how important certain people are in my life.
We're not going to come out of this unchanged. It's everybody's going to be affected in some way, and I think that's what's so amazing about it. And we may not actually feel it, you know, at the immediate time. As you say, it could be 6 months, a year. When we look back and see that moment, I think then we see the growth on how much we realize what is important for us.
Yeah. So what have you felt it's a difference is bringing to your life?
Wow.
In terms of your self-growth and self-development.
Incredible, because okay, on a, you know, normal day-to-day scale, I've taken everything that I do online. And that has always been, funny enough, that has always been my dream. I always wanted to do something where I could work anywhere in the world, even on the beach. And so that is actually coming true now. So that's really, you know, it's up my skills that way. But then also I've realized how much I've ignored my shadow to a point, or to ignore, you know, I've always been known as somebody very positive, but really kind of ignoring really the other stuff that's going on. And to really say, you know, these both need to exist. We need the two of them, and we really need to face and talk about, even if I know the stuff there, to really talk about it and say, look, this is where the shadow is. This is what needs to be dealt with before we can really deal with the light. So that, and really being authentic to my truth and to my word. And just really realizing what's really important for me, even work-wise. It's really got me focused. It's really got me to eliminate things that I may not really want to do in the future. And it's the bigger thing that's come out of this. I've been living in France for 20 years. This has been my dream. And about 2 weeks into confinement, I got a lot of signs for the universe that I'm moving back to the UK. So I've decided to move back to England. And this has been like, wow. You know, France was my dream. I was going to die here. It was always been my thing. And then to have this happen and think, okay, something's telling me I need to go back. That's been a huge thing. Huge. And now I'm happy with it and I can't wait. But that was a big U-turn, and it brought in a lot of changes because of that.
Wow, amazing. So, wow, are you saying that as soon as this is over, you'll be able to start packing up and moving back to UK?
I've
Wow.
let go. I mean, I've moved a couple of times in the past 6 months. I've already let go of a lot of stuff, so I haven't got that much to take back with me. But yeah, in August, I'll be gone. And I've got a feeling it's going to be just before the second wave comes in.
Well, that's coming up very soon in August.
Yeah.
We're talking about 2-3 months away. Wow. And do you feel ready?
I am. Psychologically, I feel ready. Physically, no, because I've still got to sort out stuff that I really want to take. You know, what do I want to take in my next life? This is what I'm feeling. You know, the things that are going to give me joy can come with me. The things that don't can go. And to really start a whole new chapter, a whole new book, really, in my life. But yeah, I'm ready for it.
Beautiful.
I can feel things going away, and we talked about nature and the river, and I see like the two embankments of a river, and now I can see the bridge that's now being formed to get me across.
Awesome. Yeah, I experienced something similar to that as well. With all this crazy setbacks and travels, I just got to some point, and now I'm a little bit more settled in my temporary place in my hometown, Taipei, Taiwan again. I started to re-engage myself back to my old passion, a number of activities that I used to do.
Yeah.
I used to dance a lot.
Yeah.
I used to dance a lot of Argentine tango and salsa. For the last 10 years, I haven't really danced. I have tons of dance shoes and dance outfits locked in my wardrobe, my guilty pleasure. And I just started thinking like, wow, I bought those dance shoes in this trip for no reasons. Maybe I should dance. Okay, so I got back into taking classes a couple weeks ago, started going out more often, making new tango friends, and I love it. I forgot how my body, my mind, and emotions connect to the music, the connection with people, the dance, the melody, the rhythm. Oh my God, the beat, and getting the old passion back. It's like a totally unexpected gift from the universe, because that's like a message telling me, don't forget who you are.
Yeah,
that's your
totally.
Real self. It's your true authentic self. Look how happy you feel to be able to get back on the floor. That's you. Don't forget, that's you.
I saw your post on Facebook. I mean, amazing dance shoes. I mean, they're not just black, they are wacky, they're amazing. And I think it really is about coming back. As you said at the beginning, it's coming back to ourselves. Who are we really at the depths of what really brings us joy? And I think I'm hoping a lot of people are really going to focus on joy and knowing what sparks us. We don't have to be doing a job that we hate. We can either decide to find the joy in that job if we have to be there, or we decide to go into something that we do love. But we need to base all our choices on love and joy and what really lifts us up.
And this is probably the time that we get to prioritize what's important in life, right? Because we're eliminating a lot of shopping and socializing activities to the minimum. So when we're slowly coming back up, we probably get to know what is really essential versus what is actually unnecessary.
Yeah, it's really doing the sieving out completely what's important. So we're almost coming up to time. So maybe you could tell a little bit about where people can contact you.
Sure. I think the best way to get in touch with me will be probably go through our website, and it's a caring-nature.com. So I'm Ophelia Wang. I'm one of the wellness directors and therapists from Caring Nature, caring-nature.com. So going through the website, you'll be able to see a range of services we provide, whether it's online, offline, in person, or for the group. From there, there's a contact form. You could send me a quick email from there. You could also book a free consultation if you want to have a chat. That's the easiest way. Also on our website, at the homepage, on the homepage of the website, caring-nature.com, just on the first page, if you scroll down, you will see that we're providing 2 self-healing audio guides. Both are from my voices, and one is in English, one is in Mandarin Chinese. Both are related to tapping into the natural self-healing ability inside of you to boost your immune system, to help you to enhance that natural healing abilities through the power of the mind.
I love that. I'm going to put that when I share, because I'm also going to be sharing this video everywhere. I should put that because it's so important. Like, we need that, the immunity, boosting our health.
Immunity, yeah, and even you're using that audio for some other purposes, such as just for relaxation, wanting to slow down, to calm down, to tackle the anxiety. It works well because in that audio guide, I put some steps throughout the breathing and the self-awareness exercises. People can become more mindful of their breath and what they're going through. With that slow relaxation process, they will progress to be more connected to their subconscious and unconscious mind. And from there, we connect to the self-healing ability and getting into helping them to achieve, to focus on what they've really wanted to do, to become who they really want to be.
Love it. Absolutely beautiful. It's been so inspiring. You know, I just can't wait now to get up tomorrow morning and do that self-care. It's just like, oh my God, I can almost feel my body crying out for it. Yes, she's remembered me.
Yes, exactly. Tell her I have never forgotten about you.
No. And I think that's why the tears came up, because it's something that I know that I forget to do, and it's so important. And because, you know, I've got my oils as well, because I work with essential oils, and to put those and to massage it in, really, really lovely.
Yeah, I believe especially for our careers, we serve people, and sometimes we
Yes.
forget that we need to be the best
Yes,
friends to ourselves.
we do. Oh, it's been so inspiring and so lovely talking to you and connecting with you. Wonderful moment.
It's just lovely talking with you too.
Yeah.
Thanks for this opportunity to connect and share thoughts with each other. Congratulations for your decision to moving back to UK.
Thank you.
Super exciting.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. I should share all this everywhere, and I just hope that, you know, people get some inspiration from it. I'm sure they will, because so many golden nuggets. Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. Please let me know if there's anything else I can help you with, anything I can support for your community. It's my pleasure.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ophelia. Take care.
Thank you. Take
Goodbye.
care. Have a